Hi everyone, and we're traveling with Tom again. We're still in Tuscany, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of a personal story. My mother's family, my Savta Zahava, who I speak about all the time, seems to be this mix of Sfaradim from lots of different places. Not so much Edot Mizrach, which are people from the Middle East, but really Sfaradi. They seem to have originated in Spain or Portugal, but we don't really know too much of the backstory until last year. Last year, I had this incredible privilege to meet Claudia Roden. And Claudia Roden asked me about my background. She is this phenomenal cookbook writer whose knowledge is incredible. And she asked me what was the one distinctive dish my grandmother made that really I'd never seen or tasted anywhere else. And it's called medias, my grandmother's dish. It's a stuffed zucchini. Now, lots of people make stuffed zucchini, but the way my grandmother made it was really unique. And the name was also unique, medias, which is Ladino for socks. And no one I knew made it. And my grandmother said it was a family recipe. And Claudia Roden goes, oh, so your family's from Livorno. Livorno, which is this port city in Tuscany. I was like, I don't know. I've never heard that. She goes, only Jews from Livorno make medias. No one else has this recipe. And lo and behold, I've looked far and wide for this recipe. The closest I came to is a recipe in a Tuscan Jewish cookbook. So that makes sense because Livorno is in Tuscany. And I guess my desire to go to Tuscany, maybe it's like visiting my ancestors, who knows? But Livorno is this incredible city. Livorno, which is the port city connected to Pisa, is one of the only cities in Italy that didn't have a ghetto. It's a city where the Medicis invited the Jews in the 16th century to boost trade. This is what Jews were known for, and it fits into my family story. These traders living in Livorno would have been importers of spices and other raw materials connected with Jews from other ports around the world. So it's an incredible part of my family history, but what's even better is the recipe. So stuffed zucchini, again, zucchini, a very Italian food, here we go, zucchini or courgette, as they call it here in England. So I cut the zucchini, as you can see, I scooped out the inside, save those insides, we need them. And then I stuffed meat into the zucchini. Now here's the truth. The meat's gonna fall out at some point on most of them. But, you know, this is the way my grandmother made it, and it is delicious. So after you've stuffed the zucchini, you dip it first in flour, then an egg, and then you fry it. And what you get is these guys. So fried flour, egg, and yes, there is frying involved, quite a bit of it, but they're not cooked at this point. The cooking is where my grandmother's medias really took on a life of their own. Into my pot, I'm adding all the reserved insides of the zucchini, that fleshy bit in the middle. It's an unusual recipe, I promise, in that, well, there's really no onions, which I don't even know what to do with that. Into there is going a whole can of tomato concentrate, which is half a cup if you've got a bigger measure there. So a whole can is going in. We're going to dilute it with 4 cups of water. And of course, my grandmother didn't have measures. It was like, yeah, just add a little bit of water, a little more tomato paste, whatever it was. But we're gonna do this with measures. So that's all mixed in. All right, so my sauce, which is the tomato paste, the water, and the inside of the zucchinis, to that I am adding 1 minced clove of garlic, so my handy garlic mincer, And that's going straight into the pot. And it's a really simple recipe. You know what's awesome about Tuscan cooking in general? It doesn't have a lot of spice. And if you've been watching me, you know that I unfortunately can't eat anything spicy. It does have a lot of seasoning though. So they use herbs and they use salt and pepper. A lot of herbs go into Tuscan cooking. So I've added salt to my sauce. I'm gonna add pepper, season it well. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to add my zucchini meat boats. And they're gonna cook in this zucchini tomato sauce, and then you serve it all together, and you just have to be cool with the fact that a lot of the meat in the zucchini kind of falls out, but you eat it all together. It is incredibly delicious. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, because this is really what my grandmother would serve most often on a Friday night, her medias. All right, just to show you, it's really all going on here. I've got one zucchini boat frying. Here we go. It's out of the oil. Yes, there is oil. Oh my goodness. And that's going straight into my pot with my sauce. And let me show you, pot with sauce. It's all going to boil together. And once it's boiled and like the zucchini is soft, it'll be done. And just before serving, you squeeze the juice of half a lemon over the platter that you've like beautifully mounded these medias on. You sprinkle it with a good healthy sprinkling of fresh chopped parsley. And welcome to my childhood, basically. This is what my Savta would serve all the time. And what I think is incredible is that not just did she serve it to us, but her mother, her grandmother, and all these people who came before her have been making medias for centuries. And I love that. I love that connection that you could build through food. And at these times when we're really under these really unusual circumstances, to be able to travel with your imagination through something as simple as food is incredible. Isn't that amazing? I could transport myself to Tuscany in the 16th century through a dish of zucchini and meat. And I love that that's available to us. So share with me your recipes. Tell me the recipes that transport you. And as we travel with Tam, we're gonna get to see new places, experience new things, all from the comfort of our home. My love for everything Tuscan just keeps on growing now that I know that there's a personal connection. But even if there weren't, my dreams of Tuscany are still there. So try out our medias, really super unique. You'll love them. They're delicious. And though there is frying and then cooking, super simple to make. See y'all soon.